When I shoot with a 35mm camera, it usually looks like this or this. My right eye on the viewfinder and that tiny window becomes my whole world. But what if your camera could disappear completely, give you an unobstructed view for a truly immersive experience while you're shooting? Stefan left an amazing comment under one of my videos. He said, the magic appears with the M3 when you open up both eyes and try to stare through the finder like your camera not in front of your face, and suddenly it disappears. You just see the world within a golden frame line. Can take time to get your brain used to it, but worth a try. So sounds good, why not? Why not give it a shot? Now I'm using a 50mm lens on my Leica M3. Raise the camera. And I try and keep both eyes wide open. A few seconds later, some magic is happening. The viewfinder, the window, is just vanishing. It feels like the camera isn't even there anymore. In front of me is this bright, wide-open view of the world, with the M3's glowing frame line just floating in mid-air. And of course, that yellow rangefinder patch is still there, right in the center. It felt like the reality was just waiting to be framed. That's incredible. So, thank you very much, Stefan. When I was young as an art student, I often used my fingers to frame objects as I observed them. It's basically a process of cropping reality, intentionally arranging elements inside a scene to make an image meaning something. That is composition. Rangefinder cameras are as real as it gets. You just look through a little window, and these little frame lines on the glass, exactly like using my fingers to cropping reality back then. Perspective doesn't get any more direct than this. And out of all the Leica rangefinders, the M3 comes closest to natural human vision. Its finder magnification is 0.91x, less than 10% away from a 1:1 true-to-life scale. When you use a 50mm lens on the M3 with both eyes open, your right eye looks through the viewfinder, while your left eye sees the real world. After a few seconds, your brain compensates for that tiny difference in magnification, and the two images combine perfectly. I would say it feels more like two 50mm lenses stitched together, creating a natural, anamorphic view that mimics how human eyes actually see. That's when the magic happens. What surprised me even more was shooting on a busy street. You know, that isolated feeling you usually get when you lift a camera and close one eye, like you're cutting yourself off from the world. That completely gone now. I feel way more connected to the scene. It is so much easier to anticipate moments like noticing someone about to walk right into my frame or what's about to happen next. Another magic experience is shooting on the move without taking my eye off the viewfinder. It's usually risk to work around with your left eye closed, just staring through that tiny window with your right eye. But keeping both eyes open really relaxes me that insecurity is gone, and I can just hit shut at any moment. So far, I've only been able to pull this off properly with the M3. It works beautifully with 50mm lens and even longer focal lengths like 90 or 135. I just guess I don't have the 90 or 135 M-mounted lenses. But I'm using a 7 Artisans 75mm f1.25 on my Leica M3 now. Since its 50mm frame line is so large, I just have to estimate the 75 coverage. It should be smaller than the 50mm box, like the M6 shows, which actually works out pretty well. Normally, the 75mm f1.25 is such a big lens that it blocks a portion of the viewfinder on both M6 and M3, but when I keep both eyes open, that blockage completely vanishes, and the lens just seems to dissolve into the background. Amazing. I also tried on M6, both eyes open, but it just didn't work for me. Its 0.72x magnification is just too different from natural vision, so my brain couldn't fuse the two images. I also tried on M3 with goggled 35mm lens. Again, no luck. The goggles reduce the finder magnification even though the frame lines stay the same size. If I use a non-goggle 35mm lens on the M3, I can still shoot with both eyes open. Feels good, but the finder will show the 50mm lines. I don't know where the 35mm frame line is. They are probably beyond the window. Normally, whether I'm shooting a rangefinder or SLR, I'll occasionally pop my left eye open to check my surrounding, then close it again to focus, compose, and snap the shot. But with M3, I can keep both eyes open the entire time, even while focusing. It's a bit tricky at first, but once your brain clicks, it feels surprisingly natural. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you in next time.